Hello everyone, Thomas Hyman here with today's Key to Success Minutes. This might be a little bit longer program, but probably one of the most important video that I have recorded in a long time. And I'm going to share with you a true personal story that I hope will inspire you and give you some ideas as to how critical it is to follow a certain process when it comes to goal setting. Again, my name is Thomas Hyman. I live in the Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida area. I'm originally from Germany, and I consider myself somewhat of a serial entrepreneur. In the early 90s, I got involved in technology and started a number of internet companies, some that became very, very successful. And about 13 years ago, I got into real estate. I'm the founder and CEO of Realty Partners, plus I have some real estate investment companies. And goal setting really has always been a critical component to my success. You know, I come from a very poor background, so I wasn't given anything, so to speak. And I remember a time back in the late 80s when I first got exposed to personal development and to goal setting. At that time, this was in 1988. I was living in Tampa in an area called Hyde Park, and I worked at a restaurant in downtown Tampa, and I would walk to and from work because I didn't have a car at the time, and I was just exposed to Tony Robbins and his book Unlimited Power, and the things that I applied from that book truly dramatically changed my life. One of the first things that I did is to get really crystal clear on what I wanted for my life. And part of that, I had a list of about 15 goals. And one of those goals was I have a brand new car, and which was a major goal to me because at the time I was walking literally 30 minutes to work and 30 minutes from work. And so what I did is I had that list of 15 goals, and I would read it out aloud, or I had memorized it. I would speak it out aloud as I was going to work, over and over and over again. So as you can imagine, if you have 15 goals and you say it over and over again as you're walking to work, and then again as you're walking home at night, I repeated those affirmations. I am and I have, thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And things started to happen in a very, very short order of time. I had a girlfriend, and I did have a driver's license. And so she went out of town on vacation for a few days, and she loaned me her car and said I could use her car for a few days, which was great. And as I was driving to work, I heard a radio commercial, and the commercial said, walk in and drive out. It was a Toyota dealership in Brandon, Florida, which is just outside of Tampa. And I got excited, no credit, bad credit, didn't matter, just walk in and drive out. And at that time, I had 0 credit. So I took my girlfriend's car and I drove out there to the Toyota dealer, and I talked to them. I explained to my situation. I'm working at this restaurant, blah, blah, blah. I was a young kid at the time, obviously. And the sales guy sold me a car. It was a Pontiac Fiero, black, 2-door, mid-engine car. I mean, this is like a poor man's Ferrari. It had a T-top. And I was so excited. I took it home, I polished it, I waxed it, I took a couple little trips, and I was on cloud 9. I mean, these goals were working. And so I was driving to work and continued to repeat the rest of the goals. And then about a week later, I got a phone call from the car dealership, and they said, Mr. Hyman, we're really sorry, but we weren't able to get you financed. And so we need you to bring the car back to the dealership. And my spirits were just shattered at that point. And I was so depressed. You can imagine. So I'm driving to Brandon to drop off the car, and the guy gives me my $500 down payment deposit that I made back. And I had no idea how the hell I'm going to get back to Tampa, because this is like a 40-minute drive by car. And as I'm walking down the driveway onto Alamo Drive, which is the main fair where the car dealership is located, I'm literally like almost down at the street, some young saleswoman comes after me and follows me, says, wait a second, is there anything, I can help you with? Were you looking for something? And I mean, my head was down and I was depressed, and I'm like, nobody can help me. And well, what do you mean? We got all sorts of programs. And I said, well, and explained to her the situation, what had happened. And she looked at me and her eyes lit up and she says, well, the reason is because the car that you had was a used car. And we have some great first-time buyer programs, but they only work with new cars. See, I've been working and talking to the used car dealers, and they were trying to sell me this used car. It was a 3-year-old Pontiac Fiero. And this woman, as I literally was out down on the street, ready to walk home to Tampa, came to me and said, you know what? The reason was because it wasn't a new car. And sure enough, she put me into a brand new car, better payment. It was a little Toyota, also black. And I drove home in a brand new car. And as I was driving home, and all these emotions, start flooding through me. This roller coaster that just went through. I realized my goal was not that I will have a car or that I will have a used car. My goal was very specific, that I will have a brand new car. And the universe, or whatever you want to call it, made it happen. So I wasn't supposed to have a used car. I was supposed to have a brand new car. And when I realized that, a light went up. And since that time, every single one of those goals on my list came true. And I created that habit of just literally every day reading those incantations and repeating them over and over again and reviewing it. And I'm telling you that because I know for a fact that it works. And I've gotten lazy too. Tony Robbins says there are two things that will drive people to change. One is inspiration, one is desperation. At that time, it was desperation because, I was down as low as I could possibly be. So I absorbed, that knowledge and those tips, and I did it, all out. Now, once you achieve some success, you tend to become comfortable. And I have my goal list still too. But this is a reminder to myself right now that I need to get back into repeated daily incantations and affirmations as opposed to just looking at it once in a while. Because that's what most of us do. Most of us write a list of goals and then we look at it once in a while, and we're too busy watching television or doing work or whatever it might be, or playing sports or going to the theater, to the movies, that 6 months go by, it's like, oh, here are the goals, let me look at it again. In order for them to really work, you have to totally internalize them. You have to absolutely just become them. You have to visualize it as if it's already there. And incantations, which are, affirmations that you repeat over and over again with emotional intensity. I am this, I have this, as if it's already accomplished. Not I want to, but I have this. I drive a brand new car. If you do that and you do it with intensity and you do it over and over again, miracles will happen. And again, in those days when I was working to and from work, literally repeating these 15 goals over and over again as I'm walking 30 minutes to work and coming back 30 minutes from work, I planted some seeds that really changed my life in ways that back then nobody could have ever imagined. I could have not imagined it. So hope you got some value out of this. Please reshare it. I'm going to put it onto my YouTube channel as well, which is at youtube.com/Thomas Hyman, all one word. And subscribe to my channel, and I'll try to put out a keys to success thought or minute every day or so. And if you have any questions or need any help, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm Thomas Hyman, coming to you through Periscope, and I hope you're having an amazing day.